That's right. Lion Ted. That son of... You know, he walks in with the Bible held high, right? Bible held high. Then he puts it down and then he lies. Oh, boy, he lies. He really does lie. You know, I go around, I say I'm against the Obamacare stuff. We're going to repeal it, replace it. We're Second Amendment. We love our Second Amendment. I watch this guy on television. Donald Trump loves Obamacare. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's wonderful. Your rates went up, 35, 45, 55%. But they lie. These politicians, I'm in business and they're bad. And I have to tell you, they're much tougher. They're much tougher people. But they don't lie like this. I never saw people lie like this. How about the little deal they made, Kasich and Cruz, where one will get out of Indiana. Now think about that, because we all have our staffs. One will get out of Indiana. The other one will take over. The people of Indiana are smart. They don't go for this stuff. Got to be very careful. Because if I use a little bit language, it's bad. Just a little bit. It ends up being a front page story all over the world, okay? Because of these dishonest people. But they formed this alliance. But just to show you what bad deal makers politicians are, they form an alliance, and by the following morning, I got a call 11:30 in the evening. By the following morning, the alliance was broken. Okay? It was broken. Kasich said, no, vote for me. That's okay. Vote for me. Cruz said, you're not supposed to say that. They're fighting with each other. And it was so bad that he picked Carly because maybe he could stop the bad press. And in the meantime, the great Bobby Knight called me. He said, I'd like to endorse you. We love Bobby Knight. I'll tell you, he's fantastic. He called me a year ago. That's right. He called me a year ago, Bobby. And I've known Bobby Knight, I didn't know him personally, but who doesn't know Bobby Knight, He's tough, he's smart, and he knows how to win, which our country doesn't know anymore. We don't win. We don't win anymore. We don't win on trade. We don't win with the military. We can't beat ISIS. I said, Bobby, we can't beat ISIS. I know it, I can't. He's going crazy. But by the way, he could beat ISIS in about 2 days. Okay? And he's never done it before. But he called me a year ago, and he said, I hope you run. This was before I announced. I announced on June 16th. He called me before that because people were speculating. And he said, I hope you really run. And if you run, I'd like to back you. I said, Bobby, it's a little early, but I'll let you know. Give me a number. So I take the number, I put it aside. And then I'm running. We're doing well. Win New Hampshire, win North Carolina, win Nevada, win the South. We win Florida, big league. We won a lot. I guess I won like 28 or 29, close to 30 now. And Lion Ted won like, 10 or 11 or something. And we have hundreds of votes more. But we have millions and millions of votes more. We have more delegates by a lot, like 300 or something, maybe more. But we have millions of votes more, setting a record in the history of the Republican Party. And within another week, after, I think, Indiana, we'll have the all-time record, and we still have major states to go. So we will have beaten the all-time record. And, you see names like Eisenhower and Nixon and this one and that one. We just beat everybody. And we're 70% up, almost more than that, from what it was 4 years ago, when you should have won. In all fairness, you should have beaten Obama 4 years ago, in all fairness. Didn't work out. It didn't work out 8 years ago. It didn't work out 4 years ago. And this time I said, let's do it ourselves. Okay, folks? We'll do it ourselves. So bad. So we're millions of votes up, and in another week we will have set the all-time record in the history of the Republican Party for votes. That's to me. Now, it's a rigged system, a terrible, corrupt, and rigged system. It's run by the party leaders so that very capable outsiders can't get into the party. It's run by the special interests, by the lobbyists, so they can continue to make millions of dollars off these characters running for office like Cruz. It's really a disgusting system. But here's what you do. I deal with a lot of fighters, prize fighters, right? I've had a lot of fights over the years. And not so long ago, I had a fighter, Champ. And he wanted to go into really unfriendly territory where the challenger was. I said, Champ, what are you, crazy? He said, you don't want to go there. You could lose. If they have a decision, you're going to lose. He said, you know what, Mr. Trump? If I knock him out and I knock him on his ass and he's unconscious laying on the floor, they can never take it away from me, sir. And you know what he did? In 3 rounds, he knocked the guy out and he walked with a big paycheck, okay? Bigger than he could have made anywhere else. So that's what we do. We're winning by so much that even though it's a crooked system, even though it's a totally rigged deal, both parties. Now, the Democrats do it, but it's more obvious. Actually, the Republican form of rigging the system is a much more sophisticated form because the superdelegates, they just hand it to Hillary, okay? I mean, that was too obvious, right? She walks away with all those superdelegates, and Sanders keeps winning, and they keep saying he has no path to victory. I said he's won it like 9 times in a row. Now, with us, it's much more sophisticated. With us, they take them away from you, but they can't take away the first round. But believe me, folks, it's a dirty, rotten, horrible business, is politics. It's a rigged system. Remember it. And the only reason we're doing well, and the only reason we're going to get it, is because we're winning by so much. If this were fairly close, like I was 25% ahead, you would have no chance. And I'm representing you. And I hope you all go to Cleveland, I'm telling you. I hope you all go to Cleveland in July, and let's all be heard, because we have a movement going on. And by the way, we have a movement, and you know what I'm getting for this movement? I get nothing. I'm self-funding my campaign, okay? I'm self-funding. So when the pharmaceutical companies call me and they say, we don't want to go to bidding, little thing like bidding. We don't want to bid. We want to just sell you whatever it is. We don't want to have bidding. And all of the other things that I say, I've never seen anything like the way this country is run. We're going to start bidding, including for military equipment. We're going to make our military bigger, better, stronger than ever before. But a lot of the equipment we get in the military, it's not the equipment the generals want. It's equipment that we're getting, and you see it all the time. You read about it all the time. It's forced down their throat by a company that's politically good but doesn't make the equipment that's as good. All of that stuff ends. All of it ends. And this is why they don't, they'd much rather have somebody other than Trump. Now, fortunately, Cruz is so hated. He's got such a rotten personality that they can't stand this guy. And by the way, remember this. He'll never be able to make a deal. He doesn't get along with anybody. The United States Senate, all these senators, he's got practically nobody that's endorsed him. And the one he respects the most is Senator Jeff Sessions from Alabama. He's an amazing guy. He endorsed Trump. So, it's one of those things. We have great endorsements. We have endorsements on the border. We have endorsements on the economy. Carl Icahn, the great businessman, many of the great businessmen, because we know what to do, and I know what to do. And when you get to Indiana, it's about jobs and it's about the economy almost more than anything else. And nobody can compete on the economy like I mean, Hillary is totally bought off by, you take a look at her super PAC. You take a look at the people that are giving Hillary Clinton the money. Believe me, this country has no chance. It's never going to be great again. Also, she is crooked Hillary, but she doesn't have the strength or the energy to make our country great again. Believe me. Believe me. You ever notice she'll make a speech, she'll read it off a teleprompter, she'll read the speech off a teleprompter, and then she'll leave. You don't hear from her for like 4 days. When the Chinese traders come in, and they come in 20 at a time, they come in all the way. But when the Chinese come in, and they want to make great trade deals, and they make the best trade deals, and not anymore. When I'm there, we turn it around, folks. We turn it around. We have a $500 billion deficit, trade deficit with China. We're going to turn it around, and we have the cards. Don't forget, we're like the piggy bank that's being robbed. We have the cards. We have a lot of power with China. When China doesn't want to fix the problem in North Korea, we say, sorry, folks, you got to fix the problem. Because we can't continue to allow China to rape our country, and that's what they're doing. It's the greatest theft in the history of the world. What China has done, and I like China. I've made a lot of money with China. The Bank of America building in San Francisco, a building in New York, 1290 Avenue of the Americas, one of the biggest floor plates in the whole city of New York. I do great with China. I sell them condos. I have the largest bank in the world from China, the largest in the world by far. They're a tenant of mine in a building I own in Manhattan. I mean, China's great, no problem. I'm not angry with China, and I'm not angry at Japan, and I'm not angry at Mexico. I'm not angry with anybody. I'm angry at our leaders because they're grossly incompetent, and they shouldn't have ever been elected to do this job. Terrible. So we have Cruz and we have Kasich or whoever he is. And here's the story. Here's the story. Heidi Cruz, nice woman, said, my husband, you heard about this, right? Said this morning, my husband's an immigrant, right? Is an immigrant. And that's what I've been saying. Except a lot of people, I think she was trying to say, she was trying to put the little bit of a Latin turn on it. He was born in Canada, folks. He was born in Canada. One thing I tell you, number one, he can't win. Got no path to win. And even if he had a path to win, which he doesn't, he has very few votes and he has very few delegates. But I've been saying he wasn't born in this country. And the first thing the Democrats would do, assuming he won, which he won't, so it doesn't matter, I'm not even playing that card, is they will bring a lawsuit against him saying that he's not a naturalized citizen, that he wasn't born on the land. He was born in Canada, lived there for 4 years. There's a whole big thing. I've had the biggest, the best lawyers of the world tell me can't run. Now, the Democrats are sitting back with one of the best lawyers of the world. If Cruz ever got lucky, and he can't, but if he ever got lucky and got the nomination, he will be sued immediately. He won't be allowed to run. So lots of luck. Other than that, isn't he wonderful? He's wonderful, okay? So we'll see what happens. But his wife just said, my husband is an immigrant. And I said, when I heard it, that's what I've been saying.